Okay, I completely forgot and just started playing. So this is the semifinal game against Terrence, my partner, in the duos that we went to the semis in the duos tournament. Now we're meeting each other in the semis of the solos tournament. Davinator and Quentin are playing in the other semifinal battle, so I got a couple really tough battles coming up. We bid for allies. We both wanted allies. I ended up giving it up to him at a bid of 6. Um, Russia was pretty standard. At the end, he had 5 infantry surviving in West Russia, but he did have an artillery and 3 tanks and AA in Ukraine. I went ahead and did the bomber buy as per my usual, and it was a little bit awkward on how to attack Ukraine, and I was planning on stacking Karelia. But if you sent everything to Karelia, you can only use 1 tank on Ukraine with that artillery, AA, and 3 tanks. I considered using the battleship to come in to attack with the 1 tank, but 4 infantry, 1 tank, 2 fighters. It risks against the AA, but it had like a 58% chance, or I don't know. But if the AA missed, it went to like a 70% chance in a plus 10 IPC battle. But as you can see, both of these went very not good for me. The destroyer killed my battleship. At least it didn't take out the transport. The battleship took the destroyer down at the same time, so I was able to complete the TJ attack at least. But now he's got a freebie uh, kill there, so that's a bummer. And then obviously Ukraine went very poorly, leaving 3 tanks alive, which meant I couldn't even stack Karelia anymore at this point because they can go through West Russia and hit there. Um, so I honestly didn't know what to do. I hadn't been in a situation like this in a while from the Axis side. I was feeling pretty good about where we were with a 5 infantry start, and even though he had a little bit better result here, but it is what it is at this point. So I put the 1 in here so he can't just blitz here. I used the tank stack, and the reason being is I was trying to figure out how many infantry I need to be able to get to Karelia on G2 to even try and get into Karelia, a stack on Karelia on G2. And the reality is, out of that, that if he builds another tank, he could easily prevent me from doing it. But even still, with 10 infantry going in, if he just loses, 1 or 2 infantry against these two, he's still, it's still a risk to go into Karelia. So I don't know, but I did use an 8 tank stack because I needed every single infantry I could to even have a chance at getting a G2 Karelia. Um, But, I mean, he could send 4 tanks and 2 fighters, but I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, that's not really a profitable battle for him. So I think we're okay with the naked tank stack, but so rough start, unfortunately, to access to, one of the top players uh, that there are in both Axis and Ally sides. So we're going to have our work definitely cut out against us. Plus, Terrence knows my crazy thinking mind, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so Japan one I had to take again on a mobile phone, so I was not able to record. But J1's pretty straightforward. It's my first time on a phone app, so I did make a tiny mistake, but it turned out okay. But I built 3 transports, infantry and a tank. Um, Ended up accidentally doing Pearl Light with just 4 units going there instead of 5. I left the fighter sitting at 37 that never did anything. I was meaning to go full Pearl, but as it turned out, it turned out okay, as both the fighter and bomber lived, and we were able to kill the carrier and the fighter of the U.S. So that was a nice result. We were happy with that. I gotta watch his sub up there. Gotta remember he's got a sub up there. Um, the downside is that Yunnan we lost 2, Burma we lost 1 and didn't take it. Positive side, Onway we actually took without losing anybody, and he let me walk into Baryasha. Oops. U.S. 3 infantry, aircraft carrier, transports, artillery, shifting units over for a KGF. He went ahead and took Morocco, even though I had my guy here. His UK, he did drop them down here, so he has 4 units there. I've got my 6, but just the 1 transport. I feel so far behind in this game already, and we're just starting round 2 that I'm going to need to take risks, but I don't think that's it. I think I am going to take a risk at taking this transport out and destroyer, though. So I do think we're going to do that. We're going to take a risk of stacking Karelia at potentially bad odds because we're going to try and take Bello very lightly. He very annoyingly put this. He killed my infantry that was over here, leaving me 2 infantry, and he threw an AA gun in there. So that's annoying. And with his tanks here, even if I put 2 and 2, he can throw a tank and sacrifice a tank and chew up my infantry, which is probably worth it. So I'll probably end up just doing 1 and 1 and let him figure out what he's going to do. And he may send a tank to each one of those and a fighter to each of those, and I just have to keep battling back. Hopefully we can put enough pressure up this way. So I don't know. This is quite a headache with no infantry here and not much I can do there, and I don't want to just dump tanks into that. So it's just the dice of round 1 was really quite rough, and we're in a rough spot, and we're gonna have to be looking for ways to create opportunities. Unfortunately, I mean, he practically has Corellia Dead Zone 2. If he would have built a tank or 2, I would have been really in trouble there. But I mean, he doesn't want to build more tanks. He's already got 5 of them because of all that round 1 dice. So, anyways, here we go. 12 infantry, 1 artillery. Let's roll. Just gonna do it. This is my gamble. This is my gamble. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, hitting the destroyer is a gamble as well, I suppose. I need an infantry to hit and a bomber to hit right off the bat. That'd be great news. The infantry hit at least. Bomber missed again. Come on. Dang it. We're going to go poor very quick as Germany. This is not going to be a long game. rats. Alright, what do I need to have here to protect? I clicked on a little bit more, but anyways, put one more infantry over there for them. And moved an AA up, so this just is, Russia's going to be huge. Germany's going to be small. Those are not a good combination. So continuing on the tournament semifinal game, let's see, UK bought a transport tank, 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and a fighter. So he's got 4 units, 2 fighters, 2 transports up here. He's got his 3rd transport coming, so he's about set up there. And actually, he's got a 4th transport coming. So he's going to have 4 transports going with UK before long. This is difficult. I'm trying to find ways to be creative, but I'm falling short on ideas, to be frankly honest. I just don't know. I mean, we'll be able to get a little bit of Africa income, but Axis is not my strength for being creative, I don't think. But we're going to do the best we can. So right now, I really don't know what to do other than to just play vanilla-ish, so that's what we're going to do. Let's see, what did he do? He took France, Transjordan, that was it. So, and actually he didn't take Transjordan, he went to Egypt and back is what he did, and came back to Transjordan. So anyways. So we're going to buy 6 infantry and a factory, and actually is thinking about not building a factory now I think about it. My play was going to be different than that. Never mind. We're just going to continue on with our normal play for right now. So, anyways, factory, 6 men, rolling along. And let's see. So bring him on. We're going to be coming all down this way. One, two, three, four. So they can still come around wherever I want them to. So let's just make sure we kill that guy. Not sure. I'm just trying to think of something to do differently, and I'm just not thinking of anything as I'm trying to play here. So I know I'm being kind of quiet. I'm just. Uh, it's a lot easier to be chatty when you're feeling pretty good about a game. Ugh. Alright, so what I do want to make sure that we got the carry battleship, 2 fighters, infantry, artillery for going for this guy. I think I want to chase the subs a little bit. Put a destroyer here. Gives me, that kind of pens this sub up there. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think that'll be it. Let the creativity hopefully come another turn. I didn't build any transports, right? I ended up not building transports. Okay, good. Just want to make sure I don't have to protect any transports. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, continuing right along. Let's see. Russia obviously pushed their fronts. They're really tearing me up. This is a go big red game, unfortunately. I got half a mind just to throw everything in Germany in here in Akaza, but and just let it trade for whatever it can trade for. I haven't really decided. I'll think about Japan when it comes to Japan's turn. But I mean, I can get, you know, right there's 8, 9, 10 units in there. He's got 9 regular ground, 5 tanks, and 2 fighters. So obviously he has an advantage, which I know. It's just a matter of maybe I can get some lucky dice. I know. I hate the fact that I'm thinking about just trying to find lucky dice somewhere, but it's a reality. So I hope to get 8 points back. I'll get a hope I should get 6 at the very least. So what do we got coming? So 35 to 37. So if I get 37, 2 extra would make a nice 13 pairs. So we're just going to build 12 straight infantry. I'm being honest. I honestly don't know how to get back into this game. And I guess part of it's just kind of respect for Terrence. You know, I just don't know what I can do that can get me where I want to be. But anyways, onward we go. I debated taking a shot at these guys, but we got 3. He'll have 1 and the bomber. I think I'd rather just bring everything I got. and be able to challenge if he was to move into there or move down there, make him have to commit to defending Southern Africa at least. Hmm. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, that stings because that leaves open the 5, 7 units that can now attack Baltic to stop me going, in addition to the 4, 6 that I was worried about of them that I was going to challenge. Three, 4, 8, 9. What would that give me? That would give me 7, 1, and an AA. Versus whatever he wants to send in there. I'm thinking, I don't even want to pull out calculators at this point. I'm just thinking that just may be a decent battle for me. Just give him odds on stuff and hope somewhere dice come in profitable for me. That's kind of a brutal one though. Gosh. 9 versus 11. I could possibly pull a tank back. How many would that give me up here? So that would give me, if I pulled a tank back, that would give me 14, 18, 19, 21, 17, 19, 20. I could pull maybe 2 tanks back, right? I might want to calculate this one. This one's kind of a big battle, though. Throwing fighters up there. So let's see. I would have 8, 10 infantry, 2 artillery. I'm going to pull the calculator out for this one. 10 infantry, 2 artillery, 6 tanks, 1 AA, 1 fighter, and he can have 10, 4, 5, 2. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Alright, we're just going to do it. Moving on. I never felt so hopeless before. Alright. Alright, there we go. So UK's turn, they bought a destroyer, 5 infantry, 2 artilleries. He placed a destroyer down here because he did realize that I had set up my transports and fighters ready to hit the TJ, so placing his fighter, his US fighter there was a mistake. So he built the destroyer to protect the fighter and moved an infantry over. As much as I hate having that destroyer there, I mean, I looked at ideas of taking him and transporting over and dropping my units in Egypt and then letting them run wild. He's got just, a lot of air right here still. And I'm just not ready to take that risk. So, because I thought about using this battleship and moving them over, but then there's just too many other things going on. So we're just going to play it smart. And as much as I really want to kill that destroyer, because it's going to be annoying having a destroyer sub and all this air kind of floating around here, it's going to make things difficult to maneuver. I don't want to send a battleship or carrier to Sea Zone 35. I mean, I could send a battleship carrier double, but then I can't do other stuff that I want to do. Likewise, I'd love to kill this sub and have him taken care of, but based on the moves I'm going to make, that would expose me over here to sub destroyer bomber to a battleship, and just again not willing to take that risk. Maybe just yeah, just not willing to take that risk. So we're not. I do got to take some risks in this game, and that's what I'm still trying to figure out where I want to do that. And it's just so hard to throw anything out there of value this early in the game because you really don't want to do that, but I really kind of need to somewhere or another. So I'm looking at an option right now of I could still send that destroyer out that way, but I think I'm just going to leave that sub be. I mean, at least we pushed him further enough back that he can't do anything. I can drop a naked transport, and this sub can't reach 62, that sub can't reach 62, the bomber can't reach 62, so we're okay. What about this bomber here? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we are okay there. Yeah, he took Burma, took France and Northwest free, which I gave him free. For better or for worse. I don't know if that was the right idea or not. Anyways, moving along. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and buy 9 infantry and artillery and a transport with our 11 capabilities over here. Because we can put that transport naked there right now. I did give him kind of a 50-50 battle up here on Karelia. If he dumps everything in there, he could even sacrifice, some U.S. tank and bomber if he really wanted to try to just tip it on the side of Russia's favor. But we're going to go ahead and give him some things to think about. Try and kind of trade a little bit heavy here. And give him the 3 versus 2 and hope for the best. Just making sure I don't need to attack anything else. Like I said, as much as I want to take out the destroyer, it's just not worth the risk. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just make sure we. You know what? I got half a mind. Should I do this? Oh no, he's got tanks sitting there. We won't risk it. I was gonna think maybe I should try this with just 1 infantry. We won't do that. So I'm doing twos just to make trading a little more awkward, hopefully for Russia. And generally, we've talked about this before that um, on against Russia, you want your side that's being killed to trade as lightly as possible. You want your side that's doing the killing to trade as heavily as possible. So we're going to throw him some options out there and see what sticks. Ugh, are you serious? Thank goodness he missed, but I mean, that's ridiculous. 6 planes missing. Normally I don't even send them all because I think that's overkill, but thank goodness I sent them this time. See, that's 3. I want to keep one of them back. And the reason being, from here or here, they're 3 away from India, which means we need a carrier. So we're going to pull this carrier back. And I need to double check that battleship destroyer carrier is okay versus destroyer sub bomber. I mean, we should be okay there, right? Feels like that should be okay. One bomber, one sub. Should I just land the fighter on there? I'm trying to get all 6 fighters to be in striking distance of India, but at the same time able to mobilize. You know what? We're just gonna pull one of these guys back. And this fighter, we're gonna go ahead and put on the carrier. That way, all 6 fighters in the bomber are all within striking distance of there. They didn't unload. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. That's a whole waste. Oh my goodness. I mean, you just want to make worse on worse. That's just making worse on worse. Oh my goodness. Well, this game's over anyway, so we'll just go on. Alright, as the dismal game goes on, here we go. I'm just building 12 infantry at 37 IPC, and we're just going to roll on. He put it over here. I could put my tank in any of these, but then he'll have 2 infantry in the bomber, or this 1 infantry in this bomber that can strike at the tank. So we're just going to slowly move the whole stack through there. I almost haven't even really figured out what I'm going to do here. what I'm going to do here exactly. Lining up my planes as best I can. It's kind of an important one. We're going to hope for that one. I'm not even calculating any of this. I'm just eyeballing it and going. I kind of want to move a stack here, so I'm going to blitz the tanks through with the AA, get enough here. So we're going to need to be able to stop, what is that, 2 transports worth 2 bombers, or excuse me, 2 fighters and a cruiser. So we're probably going to need a little bit more than 6 there, aren't we? Now that I'm looking at it. You know, we're moving the AA in, so that'll help. Let's see, 6, 7. 6, 7, that. We'll see what the 6 does first. See what comes of everything, and then we'll figure out whether we move the stack here, here, wherever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I said it on the video. I can't remember. Maybe I did. Realize that these guys didn't unload on top of everything else, so there's no pressure on Russia. Russia can just abuse me like this, and anyways, it's just bad. Play this a few more rounds. I'll give him plenty of opportunities, accelerate this game, and hopefully maybe he gets some bad dice somewhere and a Christmas miracle. It's Christmas Eve right now, so maybe a Christmas miracle will happen. What is it with Belarus? That ruins my it ruins my plan Baltic stack again. Oh my goodness. Just can't seem to catch a break. I forgot about the fact that I really needed that too. Of course, you gotta hit back. Why would I expect anything else? Alright, so we're gonna have to figure out what this means on a two-wave hit now. I wasn't even thinking about that, so I'm gonna pause for just a second. I'm gonna pull the calculator to see if we can even do anything about this. Started going again, sorry. We're gonna land all my fighters there, pull a couple tanks back, throwing the AA in there. Let's see, what can he do? He can do 1 infantry, 2 tanks, 2 fighters. So what do we want to put in to Poland? Like 5 infantry, I want to say maybe. Yeah, sure. Why not? That sounds. Oh wait, hey, don't forget about Africa down here. Oh yeah, we don't want to leave these guys sitting here. I forgot all about these guys. Shoot. What if we just move? So we now got 9 infantry. So we're gonna recheck this here. Let's go back to the calculator real quick. Oh, I don't think I saved it. Oh, here we go. So what if we just don't take any tanks and we throw, what is it, 9 infantry and an AA in there? How's that look? Yeah, let's do that. And let's take the tanks, put them all up in Karelia for right now. Alright, there we go. That's as good as anything, I think. Alright, so rolling right along. UK, they built a bomber, some ground troops. Let's see what they do. Egypt took that easy. France took it easy. Lost 1. Burma killed 2 with no losses. And Western Australia, he killed 1 of my infantry, but lost 2 of his and left it as a 1-1 still. He moved his sub into 61 to make it annoying and put the destroyer here just to put more pressure in general on things. So, I don't know. I'm going to give him options. I'm going to give him a couple options of things that he could do to just blast me out of the water. I guess, sadly, in some ways, I wouldn't mind just being put out of my misery. But also just trying to find ways to maybe kill out some of his Air Force and create some openings that probably aren't going to happen, but we're going to go for it anyways. So, purchase, since we have a wasted purchase, he's going to take 2 of the units, so that's going to take me down to 6 units here. So I need to build 2 here, build 3 ground here, so I need to build 5 ground to make the most of my purchases. So that's what I did. And my remainder, we're just going to buy some bombers. Again, just make the most of it. Maybe we can send our bombers over and create some sort of headaches doing something over on this side of the map. Not sure exactly what, but we're going to just play it and see. So first thing we want to do is we'll make sure we disengage the sub. That way we can actually unload these guys this time. I'm kind of curious. Would it let me move? Huh. I wonder if you could move out one and then move back. I don't know. I never really played with it. But anyways, I don't want to goof it up 2 turns in a row, so we're going to disengage it. But what we are going to do, take a battleship to him and a carrier. And this guy's going to come down here to trade this guy. And 1, 2. One of these guys can go 1, 2, 3. And these guys can go 1. One-on-one's a little weak, but you know, I don't have the backup. I gotta save some of my units as best I can since I don't have units, a wave of ground units coming. So we're gonna have a carrier fighter that his bomber could hit. We're gonna move a battleship carrier here where he could have a sub, 3 fighters, and a bomber hit a fully loaded one. So that's a 3 fighters, a bomber, and a sub. And that'll give him a 50-50 shot at it, killing the one guy there. Or we're going to have a destroyer battleship here where he could have the sub bomber attack, which that gives him like what, a 30%, or to maybe not even that, I forget. Let's see, I'm going to test it out. Battleship destroyer versus sub bomber is a 14% chance shot. So to kill 1 transport, he'll have a 50-50 shot. A transport, a battleship, a carrier, and 2 fighters have a 50-50 shot. Or a carrier and a fighter where he'll have less than 50-50 shot for 1 transport. So this will be the most juicy, but I'm intentionally doing that because he'd have to send all 4 air and the sub, and maybe we get lucky. Maybe we don't. But maybe we choose to do a lot of his airplanes too. Alright, just looking, I think that's all. Oops, I think that's everything. Okay, oh my. Oh my goodness. He's got tanks in India, so he's gonna blitz, and this is just stupid. Yeah. There's not much commentary on this game. Not much to be said. Really, just if I see the other semifinal game wrap up, I'll just throw the towel in. Till then, I'll just keep kind of plugging away, hoping some sort of miracle. You know, of all the ones to miss, this gives him a chance that he could do an artillery tank, 2 fighters against my little mini stack there, and was it Sin King or whatever. So technically, he could do a tank, an artillery, and 2 fighters, so 4. But I mean, he wouldn't do that. But still, just still. And he hits back. Actually, you know what? We don't need that fighter down here. Keep him up by the front action. Do you want to do fighter before carrier? Alright. Here we go. Sorry, I'm sure this game's probably getting pretty boring for most people. If it just depresses me anytime I start. I'm just kind of playing the game out until the other semifinal wraps up to give him the win. But anyways, you know, he went in and he threw an artillery in Ukraine, an AA gun in Ukraine, an AA gun in India, an AA gun in France. Germany's demolished. Japan's nowhere. This is just silly. I'm not using any calculators on anything at this point, and just clicking away, speeding through this game. It's unfortunate. Being the semifinal, it's like my curse. Semifinal. Alright, I'm just done. I hate to even. I was gonna try and just play around with the game for a while, but I'm just gonna concede right there. This is I'm done. All right.